anniversary of the VE Day.
Of what?
VE Day.
All right.
In May.
Aye. Well, it will be. It will be.
Yeah.
I can remember when we had the street parties. I mean, I was only 4.
Yeah.
And we were in Bond Street at the time. I can remember everybody was taking the tables out, putting them in the back lane, and I was sitting on the step. Of course, it was mostly for the kids, you know what I mean? And then I can remember somebody saying, "Oh, Mrs. So-and-so's made toffee apples." You know, different things, it comes back to you. But I can remember that. But as I say, I was like 5 in the October.
Yeah.
In my mind, I can still picture it.
Picture that.
But I was sitting on the back doorstep.
Yeah. Do you remember anything of the war at all?
Of the war, I can remember. Well, I think we were down Southwick Road then, and you know the searchlights used to go, and there used to be all different colours.
Yeah.
And I can remember that, because my mother, I remember her saying, I think she was expecting our Dougie, either our Rod or our Dougie. But when the sirens used to go, she used to jump in the coal house, because we had the coal house outside, and with the hatches in the back, you had to put the coal through. She used to go in the coal house, because we didn't have a shelter. As far as anything else is concerned, not a lot, just the bombed houses.
Yeah. And was your dad part of a reserved occupation, being a miner?
Oh, well, the thing is, they needed the coal, didn't they? I mean, that was where the shipyard girls came in, because they took all the chaps to fight. Because I can remember as well, how old would I be? Well, must have been finished, the war. I mean, when you come to think, I mean, all them searchlights going on, I mean, there was like, our John, our Brian and me, they were in the war, like, you know. So anyway, I should heard that the fruit shop up the street, up Southwick Road, getting bananas in. So she says, she gave him some money, and she sent him up. And at the same time, the plane comes up Southwick Road. She was terrified. She got a shock then. But things like that, and then being at school when we got apples and stuff like that sent from other countries, Canada, used to come in crates, and more so cocoa powder, chocolate powder. That came, and you had to take a tin or whatever up, every child. And anyway, but my mother was over the moon, because our John was at school, our Brian was at school, and there was me, and of course she got 3 lots, and she used to make chocolate spread, because nobody had any money. They didn't have any money. And when the rosy apples came, oh God, you got about 2 apples each. Well, as I say, our Brian was at school, and they were John, and we used to polish it, we used to shine. You'd never seen one. You'd never seen one when you come to think. I mean, when you come to think, that it was 39, wasn't it, when the war started. And I think today, I mean, I was saying to your dad the other day, like, you know what I mean, how things go on and things like that. People of today, like, coming down from me, it doesn't mean anything to them. You know, I don't, the war, we got bombed houses and things like that. There was loads killed in the houses that were just flattened. I mean, up Southwick Road, there was a couple on our side. We used to go and play in it, the bomb houses, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, growing up, I remember, because people had nothing. You had the same as your friends. I can remember going to school, Joblin's had a fire, and it was smoke damage, and of course all the mothers went over queuing, It was, what did she get? It was little dresses, little checky dresses. Well, you went to school and your mate had one on just the same, because all the mothers had queued at Joblins, you know, to get them. They were like smoke damage and stuff like that. After that, and as I say, you had to queue and you had your coupons. As I say, I still remember going over and getting me rhubarb rock. It was about that big, and I can still picture it. Getting the pocket money on a Friday, going over with my little coupon. Otherwise you couldn't get any sweets. There's no sweets. There was no sweets. The country had nothing. I mean, the soldiers coming back, I mean, where I've seen on the, you know, on the thingy, because I mean, we used to go up the pictures, and there used to be a newsreel. The newsreel would come on, and a load of them fellas coming back from the war, some of them had no legs, and they used to like have bogies, and they're selling boxes of matches and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And there was no, what they get today, you know, we can't go here and ask for money. There was nothing. Yeah. Nobody got nothing. So it was a bad time, but as I say, I was like young enough to remember a bit. Well, like me mum and dad, well, you know, you were shielded from it all. So, and they made do and mend. I can remember making hooky mats.
What's one of those?
Clipping mats, clipping mats. And this was down Southwick Road. And your granddad used to bring a piece of carsan, they called it. It was cloth, like cloth, rough cloth. And he used to make a pattern, draw a pattern on it. And he had, like, pour it on, like, stretch it out on a thing. And we used to sit round it. And any old clothes or anything like that was cut up into strips. Yeah. And you made your mats, clippy mats. I can remember having them. Because, I mean, there was no fitted carpets or out like that then. Oh, no. There wasn't out, really. I mean, my mother cooked on the fire. Because she had the ovens at the sides then. And she used to make her bread. And the tea, when I used to come in from school, you could smell it. And you come in the door. Like, you know, when you mix your dough and that and leave it to rise, used to be in the fireside, rising. It used to be lovely, I can still remember them. But as far as that, anything else, it's just what you've seen on the telly and the likes of that. As I say, I was only 4. Yeah. Like as you went over Reith Key Road, I mean, my Uncle Henry used to live over there. Oh, I mean, they were all war damaged and everything. Oh, mucky holes, really. The back of the pit, what they've all gone now. And, you know, as you go over there, from Southwick Road, as you're going over the bank, you've got the train lines there, over there. And but before you got to there, there was like waste ground, and they built. Was my uncle? I can remember going round there with Jane and me mates, a couple of mates you could take a one, and they got a one. They were like a prefab type thingy, and went down there because he was the first one on the colliery to have a telly, because they tried to talk him out of him. Well, he was, I mean, they were deaf and dumb, and my Auntie Mary as well. He had no family, and he was going to have a telly. He was going to have a telly. I mean, you're talking about this big, you know. And anyway, we were invited to go down, and went down. And I remember sitting on the floor on the little telly. And it was Rumpelstiltskin. I always remember that. Can you? Yeah. The thingy. Where you used to, you know, wave the thingy like. And but it was like all snowy, the picture. Because that's why they tried to talk him out of it, because the reception was bad. Because you had the colliery, the trains, you had the trams going up the front street. I mean, the houses used to shake. They did, they rattled. I've been at home when we were younger. They used to rattle. The doors used to rattle when a tram went up, and then they started going up to like the horse and carts. And there was a lot. There was horses killed as well because they got the foots or something caught in the tram lines and things like that. And I can remember sitting the curb. They started to pull the tram lines up when the buses started to come in. I can't remember what it'd be. I wouldn't have been that old. But my mother used to go crackers because we used to get the tar, make tar balls. Well, I mean, you got it on your clothes, didn't you? So there was a carry-on about that. But it's a different life.
Yeah.
It's a different life altogether, Catherine. I can remember at school as well. I must have been about 7 or 8. That photograph your mum put on the mug.
Yes.
That it was the full class in Grange Park School. You had the juniors and you had the seniors, right, all round. And in the middle, it was like green. You could go and sit out on other special occasions. And that picture must have been taken when the whole of the school, seniors, juniors, infants, and were singing Land of Hope and Glory because after the war. I can remember that. We all had to go. You had to be. So when you think that, I mean, the war finished 45, and I must have been about 6, 7, going into the juniors, right? And the whole of the school, I can remember that going out, because in the middle of all the buildings was the grass. It was all done, and everybody was singing.